Caution is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Deep Madness. Okay, so real quick, you didn't play. What do you think the second time around?
Better.
Better? I think it was a lot
better. Yeah, a few rule mistakes there. Made that much more of a playable game.
Right, so for those that are just watching this, the first time we played this, I thought the numbers for the spawn monsters, like, because they have different numbers, I thought that was just the different spaces of the same room. So, like, immediately we had, like, 3 blinds in our starting location, and it was just, like, all condensed monsters, and there was, like, nothing we could do. So because we were so panicked by that, we were like pissed off at every single die roll that wasn't a success. So definitely soured our taste. And then I was like, this can't be right. So I looked through the rule book and found out that, oh no, you draw a different spawn location card every single time like for each number. So yeah. And the fact that you can spend sanity to reroll dice helps mitigate that a lot. Yes. But then again, that can turn into madness. So,
this wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't. Like, some of them were really bad. Like, this Lips Are Sealed card would have been awful. Like, if it came up earlier in the thing, because I would have been so slow going. Okay, so first of all, Marcy, since this is your first discussion/review, we usually start off and talk about things that we don't like, things that might have bothered us throughout the experience. Whenever Devin started, he was like, well, I don't really know a whole lot about these types of games to find anything negative. It's not really about mechanics. It's more about just, like, I don't like how all this is luck, or something like that. So, was there anything in here that you guys don't like? That you have any issues with? Because I have one. It's weird. So I like it, but I don't at the same time, because it's very... I'll just say it. There is a lot of reading in this game. An unnatural amount, which I like, one, for theme. Like, it's very engrossing. Like, you feel like all the elements and the love and craft that they put into this game. But at the same time, if you don't have that mentality, if you're wanting to play the game, it's like a fucking book. Like, you're sitting here, like, whenever we started at 2 players, you have 3 people each.
I liked how descriptive it was.
I do too, yeah. It's fantastically written and descriptive, and I love it. But it's like, I almost feel bad for people who just want to sit here and game, and like you guys, like, some people don't want to sit here and have me read a novel on the back of each character, or whenever there was a time where we were drawing madness cards, and we would read the whole thing and then it would just be like, oh, spawn this monster. If it's not in here, draw another one. So now we're like, oh, right. Let's just, and then I understood why you were...
You could jump to the bottom of the card just as easily.
You can. You can. But at the same time, some people don't like to read, or some people aren't strong readers, and if you're having, hey, you need to read 3 consciousness cards, it's like...
Right. I mean, it's a lot to read, but I know they want it to be more of an experience.
Absolutely. That's why
that certainly separates it from other Horde-style games.
That's true.
Because, I kind of compare it to video games somewhat, because it's like, the conscience cards are really neat. They're very mild bonuses, but you can get them pretty rapidly if you're smart about your sanity management. And then they just give you a random snippet of some random bit of info regarding the lore. So, but it's all piecemeal. Yeah. So it's like, you don't know what's going on. You just get little bits here and there, and then you can kind of piece it together. Yeah. Which, now that we've played it, we made it through, I enjoy that a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, at first I could see a lot of people thinking, like, what is it? I don't know anything that's happening. Well, like you said, if you play a video game, you run into a book, and you're like, oh, and then you kind of start figuring out what's happening in the world, which, that's what they did very, very well in this game, is that there is an overarching world that they've created coming from a bunch of different sources that they probably love. Like, there's so many things that we were like, okay, this is obviously Dead Space. That's Sigourney Weaver. Without a doubt. So from Alien, then you
Right.
have H.P. Lovecraft was another character. That they've crafted all this stuff, but I think they still found a way to make it their own. So they did a very good job with that. But that's why it was like a weird complaint of mine, because it's not really for me. I could read the stuff all day long, but I start to feel weird if I'm reading a lot and I'm kind of trying to read the room as well. And and maybe I was wrong. Maybe you guys were just listening, but you could be like, fucking just.
Well, it's hard, you know. It's like
get through that. Yeah.
I mean, for people to be like to seem engrossed in what you're
Yeah.
saying, they have to be nodding and making
But
like
not
eye
all of us
contact.
can make direct eye contact.
Oh.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Really?
No, no, not your lips, or something like that. That's,
No.
That'd probably get annoying. It would almost come off as like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna stop. No, I'm really into it. No, you're not. You're mocking me.
And then they get like this close to you and they're like, I'm really fucking into it.
No, keep reading. So it's a like, but I think other people might have a problem with all the reading.
Yeah, it was a lot, yeah.
So did you guys have any complaints?
Well, I guess something that I did kind of notice. Did you want to say something?
I was gonna say, if you hadn't played a game like this before, it would be very overwhelming.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely. Was it overwhelming for you?
no,
Oh, that's good.
but
Okay.
you guys helped with that.
Marcy smart.
Right, when you
Yeah.
have someone kind of leading.
It's very helpful with co-op games. I can just be like, okay, this is what you do on your turn, and then everyone else can kind of worry about how all this stuff. No, not everyone needs to know how all this stuff works. But I kind of gloss over it just because at some point in co-op games, you kind of want to do your own thing. So it helps if you kind of know, oh, well, you know, they might go after me, so I'll kill them. And you start making your own decisions. But yeah, absolutely. If you are trying to bring someone new into gaming, this is not the game to do it. Even cooperatively, because they still might see everything and be like, I can't do this.
Right.
It's like, no, I can help you.
Yeah. And
It's
I,
easier.
Well, I mean, even while I played, I was like, well, where do you guys want me to go? What
Mhm.
should I do? You know?
Mm-hmm. And then even then, you were like, whenever we took a break and came back, you were like, I don't know what to do. Should I stay there and kill them? And that's where Devin and I messed up at the first time we played this, where we were trying to play it as a strict dungeon crawl, where you just kill everything and get on the way. You do not do that in this game. You kill only when you absolutely have to,
But you
and
run.
leave and you run. Like, it's very objective driven. It's not like Massive Darkness, where it's just like, oh, let's just get stuff and kill stuff.
how dry game was that?
Right? So this one has engrossing story behind it and all these neat monsters that run on their own AI system. But what were you going to say?
It links into what Marcy was saying. The overwhelming. But there's a lot of mechanics that are so easy to miss.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like to keep, to have a perfectly accurate game, you have to remember so much shit. I mean, you've got the water effects, you've got the devoured effects, you've got monsters that have new abilities if they're in a devoured zone. They might have more resistances. They have a unique attack, and then you have to remember all these uniquenesses depending on the room they happen to be in. And it's a lot, and it's very easy to miss a lot of stuff.
Absolutely, and such is the way of Ameritrash games, which is this very heavily on theme and luck. So, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is a lot of people who play these games don't remember every single thing. And, I mean, if we missed anything, it wasn't intentional. It wasn't trying to get us to win.
Right.
It was an honest mistake. And a lot of people who watch these videos don't think like that. They're like, you fucking idiots. You guys didn't remember this rule because I have the rule book in front of me to reference. So if we're all sitting here and we're like, oh man, we messed up. Oh
Like,
well.
I don't remember what that did.
That was a weakness, and it made you, whenever you attacked, you just got rid of the token.
And I think after you got it, you just blitzed for the
You
door,
didn't have to
so I don't think
attack.
it came in.
Yeah.
Like, same with mine. Mine didn't come into play because I just blitzed for the door.
Yeah, and absolutely, there are a lot of little pieces. Some might think this game is fiddly, meaning that it's like all the different mechanisms don't link up. I don't think so. I mean, yes, there are a little bit of like itty bitty rules that you have to try and remember. Yeah, oh, this devoured token. Crap, I forgot I was in there. Okay, well, did I? Oh, nope, I would have taken the damage, and it's like, or I would have had -1 on my attack, so you're not going to go back. If everyone at the group, that's the point, is like you said, is to have fun. Is everyone enjoying the game? Great. You missed a rule, who cares? The point of, especially the point of the run-through, is for the run-through to give the viewers a feel of the game, not to be if this was a how to play, that's a completely different
Yeah.
story. It's not. So people should be like, would I like this game? No, I relies too heavily on luck. Great. You know that in the first 10 minutes. So back out. But I personally think everything flowed relatively well. Babe, was there anything that you didn't like?
So I have a question more than a statement first. Is this story sounding a lot like Dead Space? Like with the religion and they found
The
this-
marker.
Dead Space
Yes.
and Evil Within. All
Yeah.
of
That's
that.
definitely what I'm clicking.
I feel like as long as it doesn't turn into a I am Groot situation, then it'll be fine.
Well, I mean, they've already referenced characters that.
They were very obviously
Yeah.
about my experience.
Which
and
I don't mind that. Like that's just fun stuff.
I personally-
but I just
yeah.
hope they don't rip off.
Yeah,
the
I
story.
personally really like this because
Yeah.
it shows care. They're like, we love Alien, we love
Yeah.
Dead Space.
And
so
I
here's
love-
a little taste. Whenever
Yeah,
I saw him
I
as
think
a
they're
character,
peppering in what they took from what they
Yeah.
kind of
yeah,
use as inspiration.
yeah. When I saw him, I was like, that's awesome. Like, I have to play him.
I thought it was Star-Lord from.
Even
Guardians
then,
of
it
the
would've been
Galaxy.
cool.
I was very confused.
But yeah, that could be a
Yeah.
problem.
I
So
just
far,
hope that
I'm
they
into
don't.
the story. I know you gave a shit on the writing.
Well, it's like.
Bits and pieces of it seem a little.
Well, it's like okay,
Yeah, a
like
little
they're,
cheesy.
they're I'm enjoying their description of tentacles and needles.
Mhm.
You know, fucking in the ass. But it's just the character. I
Right.
know that's difficult to write, and
Right, it is.
and
To where
it's a rule book. I
Yeah.
mean, come on, I don't expect perfection.
Right.
I'm just
Well, that's supposed to be the storybook. They just clumped it in with the rule book, which is kind of a negative of mine. I don't like that it's one book, but that's just minor.
And then Don Johnson said, "Oh boy, looks like we're at it again."
Yeah, it's.
Then Maria Laveau looked and rolled her eyes and said, "Oh, Don."
I personally think that adding those little nuances make it more real.
Right.
It's almost like B movie.
You know what? If I go in with that mindset, I could probably accept it. B movie. There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah, this isn't Oscar-worthy
I know.
dialogue.
I know.
It's a
You
nomination.
know what? It's camp. We're gonna
It
say
is
it's camp.
campy.
It's campy. Okay. Hey, good on you guys. Good game.
But that's my only complaint, really, so far.
Okay.
So far.
So for me, and I don't know how you guys feel, do you guys think that this game is too luck driven? That we just happen to actually get good rolls that make it easier? Do you think? Because at first, when we first played, I was like, this is fucking impossible.
I mean-
Like, it's hard for the sake of being hard.
But it's also working together and using strategy.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Yeah. I think
any game is luck. You've got to
I
roll.
mean,
Right, you have
that's the
dice.
Sandy mechanic.
Yeah.
Made it better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You get quite a few re-rolls. I mean, essentially, you have a 1 out of 3 chance of getting a success.
Yeah.
So it's not terrible.
It's not terrible. It's
But
Arkham
it's
Horror.
just-
Arkham Horror is successes on 5s or 6, unless you're blessed, which is 4, 5s, or 6s. But
Yeah.
whenever we were like upset about that, I was like, I wonder why I think it was because one, we got done with Archmage right after. Then we went into this and we were kind of figuring out and I messed up on the spawn. But once I thought about it like that, I'm like, well, I don't get mad at Arkham. Well, I do because it's hard, but I'm like, I should be mad at this. And yeah, you have a lot of dice mitigation.
Yeah.
Especially the consciousness cards.
I mean, like he said, you get a lot of rerolls.
Mhm.
You can use your sanity.
Yep, and then yeah, you can, and then resting is just like boom, no more sanity.
Yeah.
It's
It's a give and take.
yeah, I think it adds. At the end of the day, it adds theme. In all honesty, like you're not gonna hit every single shot, or these guys do have resistances,
Yeah,
so we
especially
don't
like-
have the perfect weapons to just mow down things like. I mean, there's a few other games I can't think of off the top of my head where you are a badass.
Hey, I found a sunlight laser!
Or yeah.
Wipe a room from the board.
All this made me think of was the turret that they put in. You guys aren't going to know, but they might. Alien 2. You remember that where they put the turrets down in the tunnels?
Oh yeah,
And then-
yeah, and then
And they were watching the ammo deplete as they were still swarming.
Yeah.
That's what that reminded me of. Let's see. So that was pretty much everything that we don't like, which wasn't even really,
It's not too bad.
yeah, like really anything.
We've had worse games.
So, interesting mechanisms. We're not going to talk about everything that we do like, but do you guys have a favorite thing?
The spawn points were interesting.
The spawn points are interesting. And the devoured rooms on top of that.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they did separate artwork for
Yeah.
both sides. It wasn't just the same artwork but red. It's all grimy and you're like, oh my god. Like, hey, alright, this room's not bad. Then you kind of, as your mind starts to mess up, you start seeing for what it really is.
Like entrails everywhere.
Yeah, it's just covered in blood and yeah, and then you get to choose. I really like how they give some choice on the players. It's not like, oh, here's a marker on this. That's where the spawn point has to go. When it devours, we can be like, do we want to put it? Where do we want to put it in this room? So you have some strategy on that. It's like, okay, whenever I mentioned at the very beginning.
Thus the Evil Within reference.
Oh, really?
It's our own mind.
Oh, gotcha.
Deciding.
Which, I mean, I really like, because we could think, at the very beginning, we could think long term, like put it closer to us, that they'll get to us quicker at the beginning, but we need to get over here. And halfway through the game, we realized, oh shit, there's only one funnel point from here, so we had to think long term. So yeah, that was one of your things, the spawn points.
So what were these pieces?
Those are just wall markers, just like, because there's a door there,
Oh.
if in the layout, that's just to cover it up.
Okay.
So you're not thinking that that you can like walk through that. Devin, was there anything that particularly stood out to you? Because I actually have quite a few things, and if we don't bring it up, then I'll bring them out.
Well, what really...
I know you mentioned the consciousness cards.
Yeah, I enjoy that, and I enjoy how they're kind of crafting their story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting some Evil Within vibes.
See, the theme of Evil Within wasn't bad. The game was bad.
Yeah, oh, definitely. So, like Yahtzee said, horror, just horror happens.
Yeah.
Make horror happen.
I do remember that.
Yeah, so...
and I don't get that feel here. I don't think things are scary just because they're scary.
Right,
They all
right.
kind of fit.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like a little, like from all the sources they obviously pulled from. Well, I mean, it all really came together fairly well. I mean, for like a horde style game, it didn't feel like a slog.
Yeah, that's true.
Dark, whatever the fuck those
Massive Darkness.
Massive Darkness. And
Sword and Sorcery was
Sword and
that was the
Sorcery.
group one.
Like, yeah, roleplay, kill monsters.
Yeah.
So,
Like-
you've got an objective, do the objective.
Which
and
I
then
do very much
you have
like.
to manage your time, manage your resources. I mean, just something that really pops out. I mean, it's just a lot going on. You would better
Okay.
encapsulate.
Anything that stuck out specifically for you that you really liked?
John the cat.
John the cat.
The MVP.
Very much
MVP
so.
of this game.
Yeah, the little worshipped feline over there.
Right, just hiding from all of them.
I hope
You're
he stole
freaking-
some of his stem cells.
Freaking just the cat. God. Oh God, babe.
What?
You fucked up.
Oh, what?
We really fucked up.
Oh shit.
You take a madness for each monster.
Oh! Well, the internet doesn't need to know that till just now, so...
That's fine. I mean, that's a lot of madness. Like,
My cat!
So then, that being said, then I think that's a little impossible because monsters will always go to him if he's...
That's also our choice. Monsters or
that is
whatever's
true.
in range, because
Yeah.
we kept moving towards the cat because we had no, there's never going to be badness.
Repercussions.
Yeah.
Repercussions. So,
so
had we known that, we probably would have pushed them more towards us.
and then I don't think it's game breaking. I mean, if we had given you here, but the madness, that's the thing, is it's not game breaking.
Yeah.
Like, you think they're gonna be, because you get 3 madness tokens, then you draw a card, and they're not like, oh, you die. They're nothing. They're nothing like that. So I do think it would have been different, but I think we managed everything pretty well, because then we kind of would have funneled them towards us, and then it probably would have taken us maybe a turn or two.
I was gonna say, I really still think, because I still would have opted to take madness
over it.
Yeah, like I probably would have been like, okay, that's a little too much. Like we need to move someone away.
Yeah.
But
1, 2, 3,
'Cause
4, 5, 6.
You would have
It's
definitely
2
taken
madness
like
cards.
4 madness cards just in this alone.
But most of the madness doesn't even tell you to take like the damage room.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes it spawns critters like right on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the
So-
worst madness that I drew was the very first one. It was
Where we all lost
the
max
facehugger,
oxygen. Yeah, so, I mean, people are probably going to be throwing a fit and saying that, but, I mean,
Maybe.
ultimately, I mean, who knows? They could have easily just cost us the game, but
it's called a rule, and sometimes people forget rules or
Yeah.
just don't read all of their things. So
well, because it's like I think they should have bolded each. Like
that
each
would have been a
monster.
good idea, but instead
And
they.
like you said, there's a lot to read.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially by the time you're done reading your fucking backstory, you're like, I don't want to read my.
I skimmed
Sure,
it.
they go towards John.
Because like all they bolded was John, move John, move
Yeah.
John.
Yeah. So I mean, still, he still would have covered all this.
Yeah.
You just would have been taking a bunch of madness. So
Yeah.
that part didn't really change. Okay, so John the Cat was your favorite. Was there anything else that you liked?
I mean, I like the references that they throw in. I think it's creative to have us like swimming through things.
Okay, great. That was one of the things I was going to bring up, the
Yeah.
flood markers.
I like that they turn the board, like you can turn the board upside down into like a corrupted zone.
Mhm.
To me, I know, or at least I doubt, I don't know anything. I doubt that they took inspiration from it, but it does remind me a lot of the Upside Down from Stranger Things,
Mhm.
with like
Yeah.
all the shit spreading around.
I think this was in development before.
that's
Stranger
that's
Things.
what. Well, Stranger Things came out in 2015.
Yeah, I think because this was back. Yeah, I think they've probably been working on this before then. But I don't know. I mean, by all means, look like we can message
No, but that's what it reminds me of. So I think it just looks cool as well. But yeah, I like that it can become corrupted in general.
Right. So my favorite thing about the game is, I mean, obviously I really like the theme, but I love this turn
Turn
tracker.
order. Yeah.
Because one, it's unique, at least to me, and whenever in the rules they kind of say that these are our linked pairs, and whenever I was reading that, I was like, so these guys only go after us? And that's not the case. Literally, it's just, there's so much strategy in this alone, because you have perfect information on how it's going to go. It's like, okay, and we did it multiple times with you using your ability to run, like pop through portals, and it's like multiple times where we're like, okay, well, let's do this and this, because like, hey, we'll have you kill the blind with that because you will go before it will. So it's not like a initiative track where we randomize this every single time, so we never know what's going to happen. You can very clearly look at this, and it kind of lessens the luck, because okay, I know that there's a blind right there. It will weaken me, which I need to kill all that stuff in front of us, so we need to deal with it because I will go right after it. And then you just know every single turn. What do you guys think of the tokens? I fucking hate them! The extra turn tokens. Would you guys rather control more characters so we have more abilities?
Mhm.
Or would you rather have extra turns? I thought it was an interesting way to do 4 players.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What was it that you said?
It was, would you rather have would you rather control more people
Mm.
or have these extra turn tokens?
I feel like controlling more people would be even more overwhelming.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
having to keep track
Yeah.
of whose stuff is what.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say that I mind them too much.
Yeah, I kind of I'm
Wish
fine
I
with
ever
them.
got a 2.
Right.
Well, here, have a 2.
I got it! Yay! I did it! It all ended up working out really well. In an Ameritrash game, which I have played a lot, there is a lot of cooperation. Some games, like Eldritch Horror, Arkham Horror, have one person who just happens to get all the good cards, all the good turns, so they're like the MVP, while others are like, I'm not really doing much.
Mhm.
And in a cooperative game, that you feel useless. I don't think anyone here was useless. And it actually felt like an awesome thematic entrance. You guys seem to be the smarter ones than Jacob Clark. So you guys all... So,
Like
and the
he's just in
stomping.
you're in a fit of PTSD the whole game. Just
That looks like a necromorph! You just gun him down. And that's what it felt like. You guys were running towards these objectives, and I was just clearing the way. And I'm like, okay, guys, hallway's clear. Go right ahead and save yourselves. One quick caveat as I'm thinking that. What about the story that what I don't like is they have named people in the story. So if you're not playing those characters, there's a disconnect.
Mhm.
It's like, hey,
well, we're assuming
Dr. Armitov, and they're the base game characters, and we don't have any of those here. But it's like, it's almost a disconnect because it's like we the backstory luckily does a full thing of the character instead of Arkham Horror where it's just why they're in Arkham. This is everything that happened to them and then while they're in the Lang Corporation
what makes them
here. So at least you get that. But yeah, reading the story, I'm like, well, Dr. Armitage isn't here, but it's like I'm guessing whenever it says you, it's referring to all of us, like they're talking to all of us. But that's just a minor dislike. But yeah, this thing is my absolute favorite. I think this AI system is really well done. It's not a lot. It's like, okay, this will move, attack, special. Okay, well, I'll just read the special there. Or the husks. Okay, they'll move, attack, and then they'll do their special, which is where they'll put their things. I love the devoured abilities of the monsters, that they actually change based on the atmosphere and section of the map that they are in. And yeah, I'm guessing over time, every single spot will become devoured. Unless you do really well and get out of there quicker, but...
Yeah, the way the game's set up, I don't see that happening.
I don't think so either. I don't think so. I am curious though.
Sixes all game.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that the scenarios are unique and different. It's not just. I hope it's not always clues and objective. That could kind of get old.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if I had to do that.
So we definitely have to play it more.
I mean, obviously the maps will change. So
the maps will change. The different tiles will change. There's actually variants from the expansion you can add in. There's the epic monsters, which I think there's like 15 epic monsters.
So none of these were epic monsters?
No, these were all regular. These were actually all the base game monsters. We had expansion characters, but base game monsters because based on our experience last time, I was like, we had an epic monster and you can only ever have one in the game.
I told you not to put them in.
And it's bathophobia is what it's called. And yeah, it's a motherfucker.
She's scared of taking baths?
Yep.
No, bathophobia is actually fear of depths, and a abnormal fear of depth. Which there's an article you can look up that will just show you pictures, and if you get anxiety from any of them, then you probably have bathophobia. I'm self-diagnosed. I have it, which is weird because I actually do have a fear of the ocean for literally no reason, but I do.
Well, there's sharks there.
Yeah,
everything in the ocean is evil.
It's frightening.
I don't like lakes a whole lot either, but anyway, so that's amazing.
I don't want to be touched by fish.
That's fair. And I love when people are like, no, dolphins. I'm like, dolphins rape you.
Yeah, dolphins
I'm like, they are even worse.
And
Sharks don't rape you.
They can tell you that you have cancer and ruin your whole fucking vacation.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the Devour track?
It's okay.
Yeah?
Interesting. I mean, you can tell when you're going to get a lighter turn, like when the twos pop up.
Yeah, but then that was like our oxygen, so I was like, it is. I was actually expecting it to move down quicker. I thought, like we actually had 3 whole turns left, and I think it paced really, really well.
That's why I'm not concerned about the John thing. It's like we were still making really good time.
We were doing pretty well, and I mean this ore cutter. Goddamn. When it hits, and it does some damage. Yep, love the oxygen, love the flood markers. They just add, they're not really that confusing, they just add a little bit more tension. Let's see. That's pretty much all I got. I mean, technically the game is scenario-based, so, but they want you to, it's a campaign, but I don't think it's like a hard and fast, we gotta play, we wouldn't start with this stuff. Like, we wouldn't carry characters over. We could start with all new people again. So it's like you restart, kind of, but the story is overarching. Which I like, because sometimes with campaign games, it's like, great, I would really like to play that, but you guys aren't available, and I don't want to jump someone else, like Gloomhaven. I'm not going to bring someone in to fill your spot if you're not available, or Arkham Horror. So, it's, I like that. I like how there's a separation that we can pick it up almost at any time and still know what's going on. Let's see. That's all I got. I think the actions are straightforward. Like, there's no, you can only search in this room, and you have to roll a die to, if you get a success, you get a card, or something like that.
That's true. Yeah, just a search is, you get a random
There you go.
thing. You're going to find a thing. Something's around.
Yep, draw a card. No, great, you have that. Yeah, over you have 4 cards, get rid of something that you don't want.
And then some character strengths are to search better.
Yep, the detective, right? No, he wasn't the detective. What was he? There was a guy,
Engineer.
Engineer. He drew 3 search cards and got to pick one. And I mean, him with her, it's like
I mean, I could have used my.
Yeah, you could use
way
that a
more.
lot more. Yeah.
so.
Oh, we're outfitted, guys.
Do you guys think here's a great thing that I always love about games is special abilities. Do you guys think everyone's special ability was useful?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My attack was.
I mean, I didn't use the stakeout much, but I could see it being useful.
Yeah. What was the other one that you had?
The stakeout.
Was that the
Where you
putting
skip
tokens
an
on them?
action to gain.
So she can
10
bank her
action
actions.
points.
Oh yeah, so you could do nothing on one turn, but then some super move.
On someone else's turn, I could do something.
Oh,
Yeah. You
Oh,
may
we could-
discard an
we could have
action
used
to-
that a lot. So
yeah.
see, I think we probably would have used your ability more if we were doing the Jones Madness thing, because then you can kind of just like pop into her turn and be like, oh, I'll kill those guys real quick, and then you can it eases your burden.
I mean, I think theoretically, if we had been doing John right, we would have been using the turret.
That's true.
So.
We would probably need some turtle, or I would have hung. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have rushed ahead as much. I probably would have came back to kill
Yeah,
him.
because you had nothing to do up there except for you didn't want to die in the water. So.
Yeah. Well, there was a few turns where I was like, okay, because if I didn't kill these guys, then they would have swarmed and blocked us. I love the escape. It's just like, hey, compare your numbers. Great, you can't move out of
That's
there.
so nice.
It,
Yeah.
it's not like they
I have
did.
to fucking roll. Yeah.
Yeah, they did all. Yeah, like Arkham Horror.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's-
roll. Oh, sorry, you didn't get a success. You have to
It's
stay there.
already unforgiving.
They just did all the fiddly stuff that are in other games and just, nope, you search, here's your stuff. Nope, you can't get out. They just did, I think, a fantastic job, and I'm very glad we gave it another shot because I was like, I want to like this game so much. And then we did it again, and I do a lot. So, scale of 1 to 10. Marcy? Basically 10's perfect game. You might not have a whole lot of references, but
yeah, I don't
fives,
have a whole lot of references.
fives, I guess
but
all the games.
I really enjoyed this. This
Awesome.
was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Do you want to give it a number based on? So,
I will give it a 7.
a 7? Okay.
Let's see here. I mean, they put a lot of work into this. It does what it set out to do.
It does what it wanted to do.
You know, put that on a t-shirt.
We should.
We should make t-shirts for you and t-shirts for me. Have
you
a
guys
wonderful
go-
whatever time of day.
I was
it is
gonna
for
say-
you.
And then
you guys
like,
really
and then
get
like, and then on the
ones
back,
that
it's like, oh, tell me about mice and men. Yeah, you gotta put it on there.
Tell me about the rabbits, George.
Tell me about the rabbits. Yeah, I mean the minis are great. I really
They are
enjoy
great.
those.
Yeah,
One
like
of the
some of
things-
those epic monsters, like
great.
they look awesome.
Mhm.
And I love how they have miniatures for the turret and they have bombs in here and just all the extra stuff that.
You know, and this is, I mean, assuming we'd have to play a few more rounds, because if it is the same style.
Oh look! Go
objective
get clues
over-
and objectives.
If it's that, it's
It
going to
would-
reduce this number I'm going
Mhm.
to give it, but yeah, I think I'm
I
going
think
to give it a 9.
A 9? That's
Yeah,
exactly
9.
that's exactly where I'm at too. I had a great time.
Mhm.
Like my complaints are.
Yeah, it's
very
like I
light.
would play this again.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd have no problem setting it up because these monsters change. There's a stack
Mhm.
of regular monsters that you just shuffle and place 6 out. There's a stack of investigators that change.
That's cool.
So there's a bunch of variety with the game.
There's a lot of replayability.
Oh yeah.
But if it's that same objective thing, I'm going to bump it down to probably a 7.
Yeah, and I agree.
I mean, with the map changing, it would help it a lot.
It would.
You know, because then you're going to have different corridors, different
Mhm.
funnels, different... So, I mean, that's going to help if it is the same objective thing.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't want to, like, ruin, like, the second chapter. Okay, no, like, the second chapter is a different objective.
Okay.
Like, it's not clues and stuff like that,
Okay.
so.
Yeah,
So there's more to this?
Oh, there are, that's actually a good question. So we did chapter 1, there are 8 chapters in the base game, and then, I'd have to look through the rules, but, I think there's, like, 15 total chapters.
So that means we'll be playing more.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And see, that's the thing about it. It's like we did this again, and this would still be fun because your variety comes with different monsters, different investigators, and those madness and consciousness cards.
Mhm.
Those are the theme
those
around
are
the
fat
game.
decks.
Going
on.
So you're not going to get bored, and I could do this one again and actually still have a lot of fun
Mhm.
because, like, just the layout of everything and how it all just flows so well is amazing. So, I'm at a 9 as well, and I agree. If we start playing more campaigns and it's like, this is just like fucking chapter 1, then it will go down. But with how much they put into this game, I can't imagine that they would have been that lazy about their chapters. So 9 for me. What about you?
Give it an 8.
An 8.
Yep.
You why? No, an 8. Yeah. Why? Why is it lower?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Because John wasn't as powerful as she had.
John was an invincible cat taking on 15 creatures.
Yeah.
He wasn't hypnotizing them.
Yeah. No, I wasn't sure what to expect. All I know is that the first time that we were going to play it, it was midnight and I didn't know what to fucking do.
That was another thing, it was midnight.
I would have been mad. I would have been pissed
We were getting
off.
there, and that's why I was like, let's pick this up on Monday.
I would have been so fucking mad. I'm not.
You guys did.
Yeah.
Me too.
For what kind of game it is, I was expecting it to be incredibly hard and just a horrible, like, oh great, we're gonna lose in 5 turns.
Mm-hmm.
What a waste of time. It wasn't, so I like it.
Anticipated dying the whole time.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is
I
like,
was just waiting for it.
I don't think there was ever a moment where it was overwhelming. Where it was like, why the fuck are we even trying?
Yeah.
But it was always still like, we were always
Pressing.
on our toes. It was always suspenseful, but not like,
I was always.
we're all mad. Yeah.
I was always
Alright, well,
kind of
this game is
waiting.
shit. Waiting for that moment, that Arkham Horror moment where it's like, I died. Great, we lost.
Yeah, right.
I'm glad we sat here for 2 hours and just died.
Right. They make health like a big deal in this game.
Yeah, they do.
It's like if you don't have the healer chick, it's you gotta stress.
I had 7 health.
Out of 8?
Out of 8. I was that's why I was, whenever I moved in that spot and I was like, if we lose, this is the turn, this is the action that caused us to lose. Because I was more reckless. But it paid off because I was like, I killed them all! Yeah, but see, here's the thing, is everyone has quite a bit of health. And that's another thing I really love, the sanity. If you were to compare this to try and say Arkham, you would assume, oh, if you run out of sanity, you go insane, and in Arkham Horror, you die. Just like in Manchester Madness. You go insane. In Arkham or Eldritch, you just straight up go insane and lose. Or not lose, your character dies. But Mansions, you get an insanity card, so it's a little bit better. Well, unless you get the Pyromania every single time.
There's one. You drew it twice.
And then she drew it, and I drew it another day.
It keeps coming back.
I need to just burn it. I need to burn it. Watch, it doesn't burn. What is this? But
the table lights on fire.
the sanity in this game I love because it's a risk reward. Hey, I'm gonna re-roll. I'm gonna try and make this happen. Great, I killed it. Shit. then it flips to madness. Yeah. You're just reasoning with your sanity, trying to, what the fuck did I just kill?
Scratch a lotto ticket.
Yeah.
It's like, why am I buying this? Oh, I won!
Yeah.
I spent $20 and I won 5.
Exactly, and a lot of your abilities or things are about that, and it's easy to get rid of, but it takes an action. So there's a balance to it, and I love that. So yeah, an 8, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, we just kept coming up with more things.
Stop liking the game.
It was a good game.
Yeah. So I thought this was great. You guys have anything else?
The dice were the wrong color.
This little D12 was pretty nice too, but I'm not gonna keep talking about fiddly. 1 D12. But that is our thoughts on Deep Madness, everyone. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this, and if you like this video, then click the subscribe button below to enjoy any video that I put out. And right next to that subscribe button is a little bell. Click that so you get notified of whenever I actually upload these videos. If you want to support the channel, you can definitely visit my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.